Say, Dan, this is a picture of my elementary school. Now, suffice it to say, Dan, that these wonderful swing sets did not exist when I was here. Dan, this is where I went to elementary school. Beautiful place called Johnson Burr. This is the hood now, man. What's wild is that's the house still. Everything else has been gentrified except my house. That's the house right there, baby. That right there used to be a factory of where my mother and father worked at. Back then it was a trophy making factory. One of the dirtiest places you could ever work. And we lived right across the street right there. And we lived right there where that guy's going in. We lived in the back. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go right past this car in between where we used to live. Somewhere in there. This, my man, it was kids Vic came from. Here, you want to understand my roots? Here they begin. That right there was my playground for the first 20 plus years. 14 years rather. This is where we hung out, man. Right there. In fact, we used to always go down in here. We had a little clubhouse right about in here. Problem is it doesn't exist anymore. They kind of block those things out. So there used to be like a little underground place we used to hang out. And so, man, a lot of memories here. This is where I hung out. We live in that house all the way towards the back here. It's a walking tour of where I used to live. Let me turn around now so you can see this. I used to hang out in this gangway all the time. Used to love playing here. Learned how to play baseball in this little thin gangway. This is our actual house right here, if you can believe that. Give you a backside view. Those doors right there lead to our bedroom. We used to play on these fire escapes all the time. Not the safest thing in the world, but you get the idea. This basement door is still the same after who knows how many years now. We used to hang out in there, and there were so many rats in there, it was just incredible. And again, these are the stairs my father built 35 years ago. Incredible. And this is the house. I'm squeezed up against another building, which is why I can't get a good perspective on this thing. Look at these stairs. How's that? I still remember him building these stairs. Look at that. Anyway, here's the back side of it so you can see it. This is my house. Look at this thing. It's still up. It's incredible. It's still up. So, this is where I came from. This house is so old, I can't even imagine. It's got to be about 40, 50 years old. This was one of our bedrooms right here, this window right here. And one of the things that used to happen is that during the winter, this would all be covered in snow. And the rats that were in these garbage cans you're seeing right here, they would crawl in underneath the house, caught inside the actual wall. They try to get inside the house. The problem was, they get caught or wedged between the pipes, and they die. We couldn't get access to them, so what would happen is that they would actually start decomposing inside the walls. For like a week or two, we would have that dead rat smell. Sometimes the pipes would freeze. We had no hot water, so my mother always had to actually get a vat and just boil some water so we could just take a bath. We used to actually take 6 of us in about 2 bedrooms in there, if you can imagine, 6 of us in 2 bedrooms. And my mother used to boil water, put it in the tub, and this may gross you out a little bit, but the way we took baths back then was one jumped in, took his bath, the next one jumped into the same water, took his bath, added a little bit more warm water, and the whole cycle continued. The problem was I was usually number 5 or 6, which means I got all the muck that was left over from my brothers and sisters. I know, I went too far, that's too much information, but that's where it all began. That house right there. It's amazing. This is what the neighborhood looks like now. Nothing like it did 25, 30 years ago.
on a store bringing ruckers, splitting Dutches. The cops trying to cuff us, I'm my mental sick. Hell raised the spick in these ghetto slums where they sell them drugs or the better guns. The cheddar runs society and everything in it. The money calls